Hey everyone, it's Miss Joyce. Today we'll be reviewing for the Module 1 assessment. Let's start by comparing these two numbers represented in different forms. We're first going to start by rewriting this first problem, Part A, in standard form. Let's do that in a place value chart. Here we have 254 hundredths. In the first row, we're going to put a 4 in the hundredths place, a 5 in the tenths place, and a 2 is regrouped to the ones place. It says we're going to be adding 6 tenths, so the 6 is in the tenths place. Let's add these numbers together. Let's start by adding the smallest place value, which in this number is the hundredths place. 4 hundredths plus no hundredths is 4 hundredths. In the tenths place, we have 5 tenths plus 6 tenths is 11 tenths. So we'll place the 1 in the tenths place, and the other one is regrouped to the ones place. Now we can add the ones place. We have 1 1 plus 2 ones, which is 3 ones. Remember, the decimal point goes between the ones and the tenths place. So our first number is really representing 3 and 14 hundredths. Let's try rewriting the second number in standard form. Here we have 4 times 1, which means the 4 is in the ones place. This next part says 25 times 1 tenth, which means it's representing 25 tenths. So the 5 is going to go in the tenths place, and the 2 is regrouped to the ones place. Finally, we have 17 times 1 hundredth, so that means we have 17 hundredths. So underneath, we're going to put a 7 in the hundredths place and a 1 in the tenths place. We're going to be adding all of these numbers together to find the total number that's being represented in expanded form. If you don't have enough room, you can write the numbers underneath the place value chart. Let's start by adding the hundredths, since that's the smallest place value in this number. No hundredths plus 7 hundredths is 7 hundredths. In the tenths place, we have 5 tenths plus 1 tenth, which is 6 tenths. In the ones place, we have 4 ones plus 2 ones, which is 6 ones. Remember, the decimal point goes between the ones and the tenths place. So the second number being represented is 6 and 67 hundredths. Now let's compare these two numbers. In this place value chart below, in the first row, we're going to place 3 and 14 hundredths in blue. In the second row, we're going to place 6 and 67 hundredths in orange. We always start by comparing the biggest place values. In these numbers, the biggest place value is the ones place. So let's circle the ones place. Notice in the first number, we have 3 ones, but in the second number, we have 6 ones. Well, we know 6 ones is bigger than 3 ones, so that means our second number is going to be bigger. We write the symbol, less than symbol, showing that it's opening up to eat the bigger number, which is the second number. Let's try another problem. Here we're going to be rounding. We're going to round 36 and 175 thousandths to different place values. The first place value we're going to round to is the tens place. So what we're going to do is underline the digit in the tens place, which is the 3. We look to the digit to the right, which is the 6 in the ones place, and ask ourselves, are we closer to 30 or 40? Well, this 6 in the ones place makes our number round up to 40. Remember, if this number was 4 or less, we would let it rest down to 30. But since 6 falls in between 5 or more, we're going to raise the score up to 40. Let's try now rounding to the ones place or the whole number. When we see a whole number, we know we're rounding to the ones place. So let's underline the digit in the ones place, which is the 6. We're going to look to the right in the tenths place, which is a 1. Well, the 1 in the tenths place is going to make our number round down. So this number rounds down to 36. Notice everything to the left, including the 3 in the tenths place, stays the same. Everything in the right of the number we're rounding to is going to change to a 0. Since those are all decimals, we can just end our number here with 36. Let's round to the tenths place now. We're going to underline the digit in the tenths place, which is the 1. Let's look to the right of the digit, which would be the 7 in the hundredths place. That 7 in the hundredths place makes our number round up to the next tenth, which would be 2 tenths. So we're going to keep everything to the left the same of the underlined digit. So we have 36 and 2/10 since we rounded up, and everything to the right of the digit we underlined is going to change to a 0. Since that's in the decimals, we can just end it at 2/10. So this number rounds to 36 and 2/10. Finally, let's round to the hundredths place. We're going to underline the digit in the hundredths place, which is the 7. We look to the 5 in the thousandths place. That 5 is going to make our number round up to the next hundredth, 8/800ths. So everything to the left is going to stay the same, and that hundredths place is going to round up to 8. So we know this number rounds to 36 and 1800ths. So now let's multiply and divide by powers of 10. The following equations start with different amounts and use different operations, but end with the same number. In the place value charts below, show the shift of digits with arrows to explain why this is true. Use words to explain why this is true. So let's start with problem A. We have 2 and 34 hundredths times 10 to the power of 3 equals 2,340. In our place value chart, let's start by placing 2 and 34 hundredths in the place value chart. The 2 is in the ones place, the 3 in the tenths, and the 4 in the hundredths. We are multiplying, which means our digits are going to shift to the left to make our number bigger. We're multiplying by 10 to the power of 3, so that means each digit is going to shift 3 places to the left. Let's start by shifting the 2. We're going to move it 1, 2, 3 places to the left. So the 2 is going to be in the thousands place. The 3 also shifts 3 places to the left, putting it in the hundreds place. The 4 is going to shift to the tens place, and since there's nothing in the ones place, we can put a 0. So these arrows show how each digit is shifting 3 places to the left to make our number bigger. Let's do the same for problem B. In the place value chart, we're going to place 234,000 in the first row. In this problem, we are dividing by 10 to the power of 2. Since we're dividing, each digit is going to shift to the right to make our number smaller. We're dividing by 10 to the power of 2, so that means each digit is shifting 2 places to the right. So let's shift the 2 again. Here, we're going to move it 1, 2 places to the right. So now the 2 is in the thousands place. The 3 is also going to shift 2 places to the right, so it's going to be in the hundreds place. The 4 is going to be in the tens place, and the 0 in the ones place. So notice that both of our answers are 2,340. We're going to explain our thinking and what just happened with the movement of digits in words on the next slide. Now, let's use words to explain how the digits shift to explain why the answers are the same. In problem A, we started with 2 and 34 hundredths. We noticed that we shift each digit 1, 2, 3 places to the left to make our number bigger. So in our explanation, we can write, in problem A, the digits shift 3 places to the left, making our number bigger since we are multiplying by 1,000. In problem B, we start with 234,000. Each digit shifts 1, 2 places to the right because we are dividing to make our number smaller. So we can write, in problem B, the digits shift 2 places to the right, making our number smaller since we are dividing by 100.